Hello, everyone. Schoolhouse Intuitive. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm here with a weekly reading for the lovely Libra Collective, Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, any placement. Everyone's welcome. These messages are for the week ahead, March 1st or 2nd to about the 8th, 2026. And we'll get tarot oracle cards and I'll share channeled messages as I receive them. What do we have, please? I know we have a total lunar eclipse in Virgo on the 3rd. 3-3. So that's pretty cool. What else do we have? Remember, the channeled messages that came in for 2026 was something going according to plan. And then there was something about like pursuing a passion, and also it kind of feels like we're being reconnected back to something we once considered. What else do we have? What do we have here? Okay, I saw it. I thought it said ocean, and now, okay, there it is, right there. Okay, good. Yeah, it does, ocean. So that's so interesting because I was talking about, being connected back to something you once loved, and I am getting this real fondness for water, but also, you think about what water and moon is. I mean, this looks like the sun, but we just think about the cups in tarot, right? The intuition, the emotions, the feeling, the depth, the expansion too of the ocean, and how there's the interconnectedness of everything. And so I think this is interesting because, as I said, I'm getting this energy of sort of revisiting something from the past, maybe that was meant to be yours all along. Like you were meant to do this all along. It's connecting you basically to your life purpose. It seems like, whatever that is. Everybody looks at that differently, right? Sometimes I think, well, our purpose is to be happy, like, and to just grow. It doesn't have to be, saving the dolphins, but that's great if it is. Thank you. But yeah, so this is distance, journey, ocean. I feel like it's connecting to destiny, though. All right, let's see what we get, though. Oh my gosh, Libra, again, we get lion. Strength and success. Lion. Wow. We keep getting lion. Yes, we do. Yep. Love it. Absolutely love it. And you can't really tame a lion. And they are the kings of the jungle, so to speak, or of the land, or kings, queens. Gender doesn't really matter here. So, but yeah, this is all about your success and really going the distance and that paying off. And then here's some fish with abundance and luck. My goodness. More water energy, the fire of the lion, fierceness of the lion. Yeah, what else do we have? There's nothing stopping you. And it's interesting we have fish because I was getting salmon, and if it's like kind of the whole question of if you should go with the flow or not, so thinking about salmon in nature. Yeah, what else do we have, please? Feels like 3's enough, actually. Yeah, it does feel like 3's enough. So that is the coffee cup oracle, by the way. Let's see what else we have. Before the reading, Libra, I was also getting to learn to trust yourself at this new fork in the road. There could be a fork in the road. Yippee! Yay! We love that, right? Now, but this is, just making sure you're reconnect with nature, reconnect to yourself, and getting clear, unblocking, healing what needs to be healed, kind of letting things just kind of settle too. For some, there could just be this need to sort of be still with something, and then we also had let's see what it was like. Yeah, learning to trust yourself, and getting into alignment. And so purpose can be about alignment, or just why you're here and choices you're making. It could be making the best choice for you and what you feel your heart and your soul is yearning for. And we have the 7 of Swords. When I see this card for us, especially lately, I think to myself, because we've been getting this a lot, I keep thinking, are we sabotaging ourselves? Are we, just not being really honest with ourselves about something? I do wonder that with this card. Kind of like walking into your own trap or something is what I'm feeling, because look at what the mouse is doing. You know, they have cheese tied to their back and then like they're walking into a trap. I mean, it's very interesting. Yeah, there's kind of this thing here too, I'm feeling about just really making those smart investments and smart decisions. What else do we have? These messages could pertain to any area of your life, you know, projects, uh, just, you know, life in general, relationships, abundance, money, career, all that, everything really, anything and everything. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. You have free will, final say. Oh my gosh, Libra, there we are with our Queen of Swords. She's very clear about her own personal truth. Yeah, she has that clarity. Maybe you have that clarity now and you know exactly what to transform. It really feels like, you know I've said it in other readings, but it feels like the answers are coming. Like the answers you need are coming. And there will be adjustments required for a lot of us. But it's all for our evolution. It's all for, you know, really that ultimate transformation and being smart about it too. And when I say being smart about it, I don't mean just go all in your head, right? We don't want to do that. You know, we're good at that, but yeah, we want to also make sure we're honoring, you know, what is it that our body needs. Like a great job, that's great. You know, makes a lot of money, wonderful, fabulous. But what does it matter if, you know, it's hurting you physically or mentally? You know, so there may be some like just prioritizing and getting a better work-life balance. So I think we'll look into that too. What else do we have? Seeing the truth after a time where things were kind of withheld. That's the word I'm getting. Things being kind of withheld. There's the death card. There we go. There we go. For whatever reason, I am getting that lion connecting to cycles in some way, and it feels like, you know, anything that's not bearing fruit is going to be uprooted. We have death and transformation here. I always look at it as the rebirth or the new day dawning card. Sunshine in the background there. And it's like, don't miss the boat by staying in something too long. And some of you may feel you've already missed the boat, and that's not true. You know, we there are reasons here to continue here, because there's success coming in, there's abundance, there's again, adjustments being required. And as I've been saying, you know, with this card, is it's like they're all reacting differently to this death rider here. This, you know, um, they're all, you know, the child's trying to give them a gift. The one person's just passed right out, which is surprising because he's a king. You know, even the strongest people, when they face a transformation, you know, you can really start to see different parts of them. Maybe you're discovering different parts of yourself or those around you as you make a major transformation. Because the Queen of Swords to me is also transformation. You know, look at all the butterflies. She has butterflies on her crown. She's changing her way of thinking, possibly. She has one as a brooch here on her clothing. She has one on her throne. You know, so it's just it's yeah, she's following her own guidance really. And as I was saying, and then this woman is like, oh, it's unbearable. This guy's leaning into faith. I mean, which one are you on this card? You know, when transformation comes in, are you welcoming it in as this child is? Are you, you know, just so overwhelmed in a puddle of tears? Are you, you know, does it just overwhelm you to the point of not being able to move forward? Possible lack of insight or something, something feeling kind of blocked. And then with the basically he looks like the Hierophant to me. This is someone who's, you know, leaning into their own, like, you know, we're gonna do what we always do. We're gonna pray. You know, we're gonna, you know, fill in the blank for you. You know, so there are just so many different perspectives on this transformation. And you know, it is our first card here with the horse on it, and we've entered into that fiery fire horse energy. You know, it's big change. It's definitely a shift. Now, it's not necessarily going to happen all at once, although I feel like for some of you, things changed in the blink of an eye. Like it didn't take it, but it's been a long time coming. And look at this. And then you have this transformation here, and they're leaving everything behind to go have what they know is better for them, even if they don't necessarily know all of the details, but they're having that strength and that trust and knowing that the support will come, the money will come, the whatever it, the it'll arrive, but they're making those small steps. This is not a huge card. This is a card of transformation, but it makes it feel like just even small wins are still victories. Brighter days ahead. So you have two cards that really can signify brighter days ahead, and it's underneath that strength card, that lion card. And notice there's a lot of light too in the background of this card. Getting for some of you, you're going to rise to the occasion. What else do we have, please? Decks I use are down below, but this is the Cheeky Tarot. I get a lot of compliments on this deck, so the information's down below. The Moon. Okay, there's another card of like brighter days ahead, but it's like we have to face our fears, our demons, whatever you want to call it, right? Just saw 1111 on the timer when I said that. Like, so for some of you, I feel like it's like, facing this duality, this inner conflict, even, the I don't think I can, back and forth. Maybe you're going back and forth, like, kind of lying to yourself a little bit versus like, I can't do that. I gotta, I don't know what. And then there's this total clarity, or not total clarity, but a much greater clarity with the Queen of Swords there, and really knowing the truth. And knowing that, the one thing with the truth is that it doesn't change. The true truth does not change, right? The truth is the truth. There aren't too many things that are reliable like that. The truth is, but it's getting to that truth. It's really, doing what we need to do to really face things like self-sabotage or rivalry. I'm kind of feeling like Five of Wands, really facing those obstacles and any sort of conflict. And one of those major things could be our own feelings and our own anxiety, fear, illusions, not trusting our intuition. Because even though it's in the upright, I feel like this has to do with, a lot of us just being afraid, and it's keeping us stuck. And the fact we saw 1111, it makes me think that times are changing, and needing to look at sort of all of the facts before just assuming that something's going to be the way it was before. Even I really do feel that some of you are going to try something either that you already tried and it didn't work, or you're going to because you're going about it in a different way, or that you yourself have changed. But it also feels for some of you that you've been kind of avoiding this change, this fate is, we're going to see what else we have coming in. But yeah, it does feel like for some of you, very well, you need to be investing more in blank, and you need to be investing less in fill in the blank. That's our first step to, it's so simple, right? But it can be difficult. But I feel like off the top of our head, or off the top of our hearts, or deep down in our soul, however we want to phrase it or frame it, we know what we need to devote less to and what we need to devote more to for our balance. But it's actually doing it that's the challenge sometimes. But I always feel like, the first thing is, I think the first thing in 12-step programs even is like, admitting you have a problem, right? That sort of thing. Admitting that something needs to change. I think that's the first thing in 12-step programs anyway. I forget what, I don't know. When I'm over here doing these readings, I try to block out my, what I know about certain things just to stay in the energy for you. Okay, so, oh my goodness. So we have a lot of, we have all water and air here. But what we need to do is we need to get out of the feelings, water, and more into that fire energy, or that, even Saturn energy. Because again, we just went from that major reset, the Aries reset at 0 degrees Aries, which is the world axis point. It starts the whole zodiac again, basically, with the Saturn Neptune conjunction. Okay. So it was like it goes from Pisces to Aries. I mean, we're a lot of things are. I'm not an astrologer, so I probably shouldn't comment too much. So I'll stop myself there. But this is an energy where your dreams will come true if you step up and face what needs to be faced, get out of just dreaming mode and actually getting to the more of the doing. And some of you're doing it. You've done the work, you're doing the work. Some of you are living proof that some of the things we talk about here actually work. So I've read the comments and I've talked to some of you during personal readings, and it's like, this is we're kind of living the lessons, it feels like. All right, so 6 of Cups and Knight of Swords, and I'm with you. I'm learning too, folks. All right, so more water and air, and I feel like water and air don't do a whole lot for each other. Have you ever dated a water sign, Libra? No, I'm just kidding. No, sorry to the I have a lot of water in my chart, and I'm Cancer rising, and Libra Sun and Libra stellium. But anyway, I've just as much of water in my chart too. So it's like I'm one too, where it's like, stay in those emotions and the depth and the dreaming and just really being in there. Maybe in the feelings a little more than I should be at times, but like, who's to judge, right? And it feels like, in this Knight of Swords, some of us too, we're wallowing in the past. I have to tell it like it is, folks. I'm not going to baby us here. Okay. I'll support, but I'm not going to pretend. Okay. Especially our very first card is the, like, don't lie to yourself, Libra card, 7 of Swords. So some of us, we need to, we're not going to have that victory until we get out of the past. We have to move forward, right? So we don't want to be living in the past. That's what the 6 of Cups in reverse can be. The Knight of Swords in reverse can be, like, deliberate, like not moving forward at all, or this almost like an arrogance too, like I'm better than that. Like, I don't know. They're just, and it can also be just, not dealing well at all with, like, what would be Knight of Swords energy, change, assertiveness, swift action. It's the Knight of Swords sometimes gets a bad reputation for, like, oh, it's too impulsive, but at least they're going for it. I look at it, we can always look at any tarot card both ways. I feel, Libra, a lot of things now, planets now going into Aries, and Aries season will be upon us this month. I just feel that it's really supportive of us doing the work. And especially again with that Saturn Neptune conjunction, I did a reading on that too. Not really from a deep astrology perspective. We use tarot to kind of look at that, but it just, again, it's like, very, okay, you've had this dream and you probably have enough to get started. It's like, what as far as this point, like, now it's, what do we do with that knowledge? And that's why I think I'm getting this, like, living the lessons, because I feel like some of us, we've been in learning mode, and we're going to continue to learn, right? Absolutely. But our work's not done as far as learning, but it's, a lot of it is going to have to be some of us picking ourselves up, dusting ourselves off, and getting ready to really make shifts happen. Being that, we're making it happen, and so we're going to have to break some old mindsets, old patterns. If again, I think every person here can identify what you need to give more to and what you need to give less to, and that's it. That's the first step. We've just been given the first step. What else do we have, please? Yeah, I know I make it sound so easy, right? I realize it's not easy. I get it. Totally get that. Oh my gosh, but look at that. That's how we get the dreams to come true, though. It's like, this is a beautiful, beautiful card to have after having said all of that. This is the fulfillment. This is, the happy home, the happy life, the playfulness, the joy. Some of us, we haven't had that in a long time. Looking for rainbows after the storm. We think about what creates rainbows, right? Got to have that storm too. And again, it's like some things are not all bad. Like rain is not all bad. And I think Libras are really good at realizing, we're really good at seeing multiple perspectives. And so I think you're the sign out of the ones that I am most familiar with that I feel can really uh, get into, different, like you can understand many facets of things, and you yourself probably are pretty multidimensional. You probably have like you want to call it jack of all trades, or just there are a lot of layers, I feel like, to Libras that can often be misunderstood. You know, um, yeah, I think that a lot of us realize, we've been working with the High Priestess energy. Um, and especially during Pisces season, the moon and and then the high priestess, those are the cards. We keep getting those too, and it is Pisces season. So it's interesting that we're getting Pisces cards in Pisces season, just like, when it's Leo season, we get even more lions, if you can believe it. So some of you have strong connections to lions, I'm just saying. But there's I'm getting the, and I know it's kind of corny, but I'm getting like, stop lying to yourself, like, the play on words, lion. But I think some of you have stopped that. And I love this card. It's always like the happy dance. But not everything is rainbows and sunshine, right? A lot of us are coming out of that storm. And some of us we're still in it, And but again, taking necessary actions to shift that energy, and you do have power. I think a lot of us have more power than we realize. We don't even show it. We don't even use it all. Well, year of the horse, right? Full horsepower as we charge forward. Um, what else? I'll be doing a reading for the eclipse too, as I always do. So that'll be your next reading, in fact. Some of you need to get back in creating, or you need to get back to your original style, or the style, or just how you were with something when you felt most yourself. I feel that some of you have almost been, one reason there's some confusion with some of us is we've kind of been letting other people make decisions for us that we ourselves need to be making for ourselves. What else, please? Not taking on the emotions of other people is coming in too. I get a lot of channeled messages during the reading, so I'm just kind of, as I share those as I go along, and those of you who watch me regularly, that. So this is one of those readings where it feels like I'm getting the channeled messages, but I'm not necessarily like calling out all the names and things, because it feels like, just like what the energy is saying, it's sort of like we really need to kind of focus on what is it that we can do today? What is it that we can do in this moment? And to really stay focused on this moment, staying in that present moment to get things to shift in the future moments, And then I'm hearing kind of almost like bending time, Let's see what else. That was a flipper. Let's take it. There's the Three of Pentacles. All right. So hopefully, let me just adjust that a little. I feel like now the cards might look weird. Okay. So Three of Pentacles, teamwork. But I feel like for some of you, you just need to get back to creating. Even if you're afraid to put something out there, just somehow get back into at least the skill of it, the creation of it. Some may be feeling like you just want to work alone now. You kind of tried it one way, or maybe it's the opposite, and you've decided, yeah, I've been, hermiting for too long, and the only way I'm going to step up is if I put myself out there more. And so you're, being brave in that way. and facing some sort of discomfort, which could have to do with being seen. What else do we have for Libra? Somebody out there is about to win big, because I've been hearing this now for a few weeks. So if it's you, let me know. But I just feel like you've got some of us have some big, huge wins coming in. Okay, we have a Page of Swords here. There's some hesitation in regard to making this change, shift, transformation. It's because you're doubting your own strength or your own ability to have success, or your own, if it's like, not feeling like you deserve it or something. But here it is. And when we feel things like that, a lot of the times it comes from outside of us. It was programmed young. So many of us, though, we have faced that, and that's how we've been able to do better than those who were before us in our families and things. So what else do we have, please? I think some of you are learning. Some of you have really learned to break patterns that have been holding you back. We used to get 9 of Swords a lot, and I feel like so many of us have faced it. We've actually shifted the collective Libra energy. So I do believe we have the power to do that. And there's the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, so there you go. Often I've noticed when we get the Queen of Swords, we get the 9 of Pentacles, especially when we use this deck. And it's really being clear about what you want to grow. What do you want to, what needs to change in your environment? This is a card of environmental conditions. This is also a card because of the grapes, right? It's a card that reminds me, hey, Libra, you've done hard things, Libra. It's also a time when maybe you need to, again, get back to trusting yourself, or think about that confidence you had when you were younger. Maybe some of you had more confidence when you were younger than you do now. And so kind of getting back into like who Libra really is, who you really are. And when I say Libra, I mean all Libra placements, right? I'm talking about the Libra energy. Yeah. I'm getting like, come give grandma a hug. So So just, I'll report what I get now. Some channeled messages. I was getting a name like Deidre or Desiree too. Right now I'm hearing Connie, and I heard McAllister, and let's see what else. Okay, so the 9 of Pentacles, she knows she can give a few away, but she's going to keep those other 6. She's done this. A lot of us too. I've said this before, like, think about who was with you when you needed it most. Think about that. Think about how, it's always interesting to me that when we're doing well, and some of it could be our own self-doing. I know that if I'm not doing well, I basically go in my hermit shell and hide, or my crab shell, I guess, with all that Cancerian in my chart. And I did, and I kind of like, there's just less of me out there, and as far, energy. And so, because I'm working on something, and it's not necessarily bad. It's just that it needs my attention. And I feel like for some of us, it's, needing to shift that energy and come out, step up basically, and reward, and receive the reward. But I feel like for some of us, we've been, it's sort of, it's not really like tricking ourselves, but it kind of is a little bit. I just kind of am getting this energy of this false belief that you can't possibly have more, or you can't have something better than what you currently have. And that is like, I think the number one reason why a lot of us stay stuck, but I lost my train of thought. And when that happens, I always admit it. Okay, so I want to get to the birds too. We have the bird here, the Queen of Swords. And although she has this little birdie in her ear, she's still doing what she wants to do. There's that message. 9 of Pentacles, focus. Remember, I brought up the word focus. We really need to focus. She's trained the falcon. That takes a lot of focus. It also takes a lot of focus and care and energy to grow grapes. You've done tough things. You've done hard things before. And, you're able to learn. You're still able, that saying, like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I disagree with that. You can teach an old dog new tricks. right? I believe that. I do think you actually can. I think it might be, maybe it'll be a little more challenging, or you have to go about it in a different way. But that's just a silly saying in my opinion. Maybe you resonate with that, but we're not dogs, If anything, we're lions. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else. Okay. I know some of you have a lot of like prominent Leo placements. So I think we pick up on that energy here. By the way, I do want to remind you, I have that second channel. I have another channel. Oh, the magician. Oh, let's talk. But I do have another channel, and it underwent a name change. It went from Mantic Mystic to Schoolhouse into the number 2, ITIF. Schoolhouse Intuitive. And I incorporated my name. Oh, isn't that cute? But anyway, check me out over there if you would like all signs readings, which I'll be doing, bi-monthly, monthly, whatever. And also I'll be doing more of that psychic mediumship that a lot of you like. So if you're wanting to get messages from the other side, I call it the other side, but it's still here, is in my experience. It's very much here. Yeah, you could check me out over there. All right. So magician. The magician card is, I think, again, it's realizing you have enough to go ahead and get started. You have enough to bring it down, right? Bring it into reality here. But you've got to come to the table too. And a lot of you've done that. You're at the table and you're like, yes, please. Yes, I'm ready to, explore this, what I could feel could be limitless opportunities. Lots of new abundance. Really aligning yourself with what it is you want to bring in. That's where it can grow like crazy. Look at it. I mean, look at all these flowers here. We've got the lilies and the roses and whatever else they want. And they have that, they know when. What I love about this is it's the card following the 9 of Pentacles. It's another card of intentional manifestation, focus. And that's why I say, let's figure out, where can we give a little less and where can we give a little more, to whom, to what, yeah, I want to, or what are you going to do a little less of, a little more of? That's still the same thing, putting your attention, right? So yeah, because where the energy goes, that's where the results will show, I guess you could say. And it's funny, he has a snake wrapped around it for his belt, and that, we're through that year of the wood snake. We've done so much shedding to have this new, again, ready for the new. We are so ready. And what I was getting to with some of this is, like, remember who was by your side when you were down, and who's by your side when you're up. And, like, is that fair, really? I don't know. Just don't feel like you have to give everything away just because you have more. And because, like, if those people weren't supportive of you and you don't feel like giving more, you're not a bad person because you're keeping more for yourself than you're giving away. That might be different and not what other people want. That might be, like, different than how you normally have been. Maybe you've been too giving, but I feel like them days are over. And I heard a door slam just now. So either you slammed the door, because that can happen too when I'm doing these readings. I'll pick up on things currently happening in your environment or energy around you. And yeah, well, same thing. And but it can also be for the future. It can pick up on the past too. And that's what's so cool. I mean, everything's energy and it's all connected. Brings me to that ocean card. Now, some of you waiting on some news, waiting on some results too. We have the Knight of Wands here. It's like trying to rush, maybe trying to hurry up and hurry up and do. It's not about the speed. Okay, it's about the actual taking action. I love that you have this, because you're the fire horse. I'm a horse. Giddy up. Let's do this. Let's go. Oh yeah. Get ready to shine. Some of you are going to be front page news, so to speak. Or maybe you really will be. Or maybe when you were younger, you were in the paper for something you loved, and that's the thing you've been reconsidering. And now, yeah, it's coming out in this reading. I just have my lights blink too. You wouldn't see it because I have different lights that won't blink, but for our table. But anyway, you have the star card. And it's because it's interesting because my attention's been going back to that ocean card. Now we have the star, and she's in the pool of universal consciousness, right? She's connected to all of it. She's connected to all the cosmos. She's got all the, she's got the 8 pointed star, and there are 8 of them. So connecting with the number 8, and same with the magician, right? You could say that about the lion being here. That could be another. So we've got 888, because the lion connects me to strength card, which also has the infinity symbol. That's where I'm going with this. Okay. I shift gears quickly sometimes, but, and then the magician, again, infinity symbol. And now you have the 88 card, and you already have 88. So I'm like, you got all these 8s now, 888 energy working with you. And it's another energy, another card where it's like, oh, and I'm sorry, but the card 17, the star, 1 and 7's 8, right? So there's another 8. This reading is loaded with 8s. So, you think about the number 8 too, aside from being, the strength card in tarot. I mean, 8 can have to do with mastery, accomplishment, action, number of the self, right? This is achievement. This is movement. I love that you have 8s right out of the gate, with this energy of the fire horse. And I have a paper here that has, so yeah, this is the number 8. It can be purposeful, ambitious, executive abilities, visionary, tenacious, sound judgment, excellent instincts, abundance mentality, big goals. You read people well, organizational skills are on top, really good, very influential, purposeful, driven energy. Okay, that's what it's all about. So 888, so many 8s. I love it. 8's a great number. Maybe 8's your lucky number. Let me know if it is. Just put an 8 down there, or the infinity symbol or something, whatever you'd like. Leave in a comment. What else do we have? There's the sign of abundance, 888. This deck doesn't go past the 888, so there we are, sign of abundance. So this is about having great success coming your way, and your very second card out was success and strength. It's like, get ready to receive your crown. Oh my gosh, top of the deck, I peeked. Look, there's the sign of enlightenment. You've achieved wisdom and find success. Because again, you're living the lessons. I'm going to be doing readings on that. You're going to see that probably pop up in a title if it's not the title of this reading. Okay, because it feels like that's it. Libra's ready to take action on all that stuff we've been having to process and integrate and grow through. I say grow through, right? Because it wasn't all for nothing. The things that I went through, that I still go through, that I still do, that's why I'm at this table. That's how I'm even able to be at this table, because I've gone through some stuff. We've all gone through stuff. But I wouldn't really have the perspective I have, and the ability to, put myself in other people's shoes and things like that, which we can never truly do, right? Not 100%, but you can kind of get an idea if you yourself have had many like big experiences that were life altering, like a whole series of them. It just helps you be able to relate better, I feel like, to others. So yeah, so we have 11, sign of intuition. You're learning to trust your gut feelings. Very first message they gave me, Libra, was trust yourself. Learn to trust yourself. You can accomplish great things if you choose to believe, if you choose to focus, if you choose to take those steps. We have 444. You're guided and protected as you do. Angels watch over you with love, with encouragement, rooting you on. Yay, Libra. Let's get you some angel messages. Wow, Libra. My, this one flipped. So things are not how they appear. Your angels see from above a very different perspective. And bottom of the deck, be all you can be. Step into your potential and be open to succeed. There it is again. This reading has success written all over it. And yes, I'm being dramatic. It's part of what we do. Libras are very theatrical when we want to be, right? Okay. Okay. Oh, a timeout's been called. Life's on pause. Why? So you can catch your breath. The idea is to release that energy. Really fully exhale, right? And trust the unknown. It's bottom of the deck you have. One day you're going to look back and see the big picture. Trust in the unknown. Absolutely. Trust in the unknown. For some of you, it's going to be a big win. Like I said, others, it's more of a slow build, right? Snail's pace. Some of us are, tigers and other, or whatever, cheetahs, and then others are snails, and that's okay. Some of us are in between. That's okay too. It's all okay. What else do we have? It's also not okay. It's also okay to not have it all figured out, because a lot of the times we learn as we go. How many of you actually sit down and read all the instructions when you get a new toy? When I say toy, like a grown-up toy, like an appliance, like a, technology gadget or something, like I don't read anything. I don't know about you, but unless I don't know how to turn it on, I don't really read much. I like to learn by doing, you know? Yeah, the pictures are great and they help, but I really like to see, you know, what it can do. It's more fun that way. There's like when you sit down to play a game, do you really get out the instructions? No, you're ready to go. You're ready to play the game. So you're ready to play the game? Like that's what it feels like. Like we're ready. I feel like so many of us are ready. We keep getting Knight of Wands energy. We are ready for this. We're ready for the adventure. Some of us, our free spiritedness has been lost and now it's come back. There's that fearlessness that maybe we had as a child, but then things got all scary and convoluted as adults, or even as kids. It started to get that, we got programmed, younger, maybe some of us, and we're having to kind of undo generational trauma, even for some of us. They've done study like trauma lives in the cells. So sometimes, we're working through other people's stuff just from the time we're born, right? So just things to think about. I go all over the place here. Let's see what else we have. If you want to show support, I would love, just tap that like button for me. Leave a little comment if you'd like, hype, whatever you feel called to do. All right. Rebel or rebel. Yet another card about kind of like it's how you look at it. But what's most important, what's going to feel best, what's going to benefit you the most, which will then help you benefit more people or others the most. Because if you're worried, I don't want to be selfish. Well, think about it. When you're your most brilliant self, aren't you able to get more done that helps other people too? Aren't you more pleasant to be around? So take the 5 minutes, do your breath work, whatever it is you need to do. Step outside, let yourself gaze at the stars. I know it's cold, but I still do it even when it's cold. I need to. It's stuff. It's like that's the stuff that feeds my soul and keeps me going, really, But yeah, do it your way. Don't worry about what others think of you. It's time to write your own story. What else do we have? Justice and travel. There's a strong desire to wander or travel and explore the world. It's time to do it. Expect to travel soon. Even if it's letting your mind go wild with ideas, amazing insights are probably coming to you with these energetic shifts. Eclipses are very interesting and the energy stays with us a while, right? And then we're going to have more during Leo season. I like Leo eclipses. They're big, but I there's something about them anyway. You could find something connecting back to that 8/8 Lionsgate, last year's Leo season even. So something you tried to start or that seemed like it was going to go well and then like it didn't for whatever reason, or it was sort of on pause, you could find that it then starts delivering. So, and actually, Jupiter is now in Cancer. Jupiter is, the planet that helps us grow and expand. It's the gift giver of a planet. Things get bigger with Jupiter, so it's going from Cancer to Leo. So maybe if we connect well with Leo energy, and it's that fire energy, and it helps us. Fire and air, good together, right? Justice, though, here it is. So something may start to really kind of balance out better. Uh, just starting now, starting today, just by even a thought change. That's that first step on a new journey, So I want to remind you, you have distance, you have journey on that first card, that ocean card. Justice will be done to those who oppose you. The truth will be revealed. That's what it says. So if some of you came here wondering about that, there it is. I wasn't even going to get more cards, and that came out. And what does she have at her feet? She's got the snake, serpent. Anything else? Let's get some animal cards. Animal cards for Libra. Libra. I'm getting a name like Silva or Sylvan. Sylvan. What else? Ooh, what's this? Oh my gosh. We keep getting this one. Polar Bear, card 3, Empowerment, Earth Star Chakra. Boom. I'm sorry, making myself. That was not a snort. I don't know what that was. It came from the throat. Snorts come from the nose. I don't know what that was. All right. So this is you're stronger than you think. Harness your true innate power. Let nothing hold you back. Be bold and courageous. You can do this. What else? I'm getting that Patsy Cline song, I Fall to Pieces, or something along those lines. I feel like pieces are falling into place for a lot of us. Tears of joy, tears of joy. I get that for some of you. Oh, there could be a new arrival even. Oh, I got a chill. Who's going to be the grandparent or the parent or the auntie or whatever? I just feel that. Oh, or the, yeah. Okay. And I was getting even puppy energy before. So, and it can be cats too. We always have our cat energy here. But right, there you go. Jellyfish here, card 5, self-reliance, Earth Star Chakra. Let go of resistance. Flow forward in the direction that's calling you. Trust you have everything you need to succeed on this journey. Oh my gosh. There it is again. Succeed on the journey. What else? This reading is getting me like really pumped. I don't know if you can tell, but like I'm going to have to go run around or something. I don't know. What else? Oh, there was a jumper. What do we have? And the thing is I did all that before the reading, but I think it's the fire horse energy. Maybe. Just, I don't know. Could be anything, right? All right. There's always astrology going on. So here we go. Humpback whale card 43, holding space, crown chakra. We've got Earth Star Chakra and we have crown chakra. I love it. Be gentle with yourself and others. Create a safe, nurturing space for healing. Give and receive the gift of being witnessed with compassion. That's what I have for you, everybody. You know how to show support. I appreciate you. You could find personal readings at schoolhouseintuitive.com.